Hey everyone, welcome to Bike Revs. I'm Mark. Now you join me in a very exciting evening. It's Thursday evening today, and tomorrow, Friday morning, me and 7 of my mates are heading off around Wales on a bit of a tour for a long weekend. Really exciting stuff, but I don't want to turn up and be that guy that's either forgotten something or breaks down the moment we leave Gloucestershire. So today I'm going to go through a few things that I'm going to do as a sort of pre-check before I leave, and also the kind of luggage that I'm going to be taking with me, because if you're going off on a tour and you've never done it before, perhaps this is going to set you up nicely. So we start as ever with tyres, and a few days ago I got the bike up onto the bike stands and I looked very carefully at this rear tyre, gave it a clean off and then went right round it, and I found that there were loads, I'll say loads, probably about 5 or 6 tiny little stones that were stuck into the tyre, and I managed to get them all out with the sharp end of a screwdriver. Now, rather nervously, I then wondered if actually my tyres would start going down after that. So definitely well worth a few days before you go away. Just check your tyres, make sure there's no obvious sort of screws and nails hanging out of them. But also have a look, see if there's any of these little stones that are stuck in it, because if you get any deeper, then they go right through, and that's a bit of a problem. So always good to pluck those out of your tyres. So that was the first job to do. Obviously, check the tread as well. And as I say, well worth doing a few days in advance, just in case you have to get one swapped out. The other thing, of course, is to make sure you've got the right tyre pressures, and it's definitely worth doing that on the day that you leave, and just make sure that you haven't got a last minute flat as well. Right, if you've spent any time at all watching this channel, you'll probably guess that the next thing I'm going to say is to make sure your chain's oiled. Well, it's true, right? So this thing is nicely oiled and ready to go. I've got the nice sticky oil on there, so that's going to last me a few hundred miles. Also, check your chain tension as well, and get that tightened up if you need to. This one's just fine. Obviously the bike's pretty new, so that's not a problem at all. So what else can we check? Well, I suppose you could go through and check your brake pads, check all your nuts and bolts are tight, but quite frankly, that's about it. I mean, it's not as if we can even check our light bulbs these days. It's all LEDs, and at the end of the day, I might be away for 3 days, 2 nights, but actually we're only going to do 500-600 miles, so I mean, really, the bike does that much every month. It shouldn't be a problem for it, but at least I am safe in the knowledge that I'm not going to break down as soon as I leave the car park. Okay, I'm going to head inside now, start packing my bags and getting my luggage onto the bike. But just before I do, there is one last thing I forgot to mention, which is when you turn up for your ride, and it doesn't matter if it's a ride at the weekends or whether you're going off on tour, don't turn up and be that person that needs to immediately go to the garage and get fuel. So make sure you've got a nice full tank of fuel before you get there, and that will stop you from annoying everyone. Right, let's go inside and pack some bags. Here we are then in the house in my kitchen, and I'm going to talk you through all of the kit that I'm going to take with me, and I'll start off with these wonderful SW Motec panniers. Now, we've been watching a close eye on the weather, and it does look like it's going to pour with rain on the first day. So as well as the panniers, I've got the waterproof liners that come with them. I was hoping not to have to take those, but sadly they're going to have to go in, and all my kit will go inside those. Now, in terms of what I'm going to wear, I've got my usual motorbike jacket, which is an Oxford Mondial, I think it is. That's got 3 layers to it, so the outer layer, then there's a waterproof layer, which I'm going to need, and it is very waterproof. It's been tested a number of times. And then I've got the quilted liner as well, to keep me warm. And normally I'll wear that on top of a t-shirt. I think that's going to be warm enough. I'll have a look in the morning, but I may need another layer on top as well, so we'll see about that. So that's the jacket. In terms of the trousers, I've got my RST trousers, like just normal textile motorbike trousers. I've got the quilts in there as well. They should be waterproof, and I would call them at best showerproof. Not the greatest. So as well as those, I'm going to take with me, and I may well wear straight away on the first day, these waterproof over trousers that I've got. Now, these are really cheap. These came from one of these sort of go outdoor type places. They're massive, they've got a big elastic top on them, and when it rains I can just slap those straight over the top of my boots and my normal motorbike trousers. Keep me nice and dry. Obviously I've got my helmet as well, pretty standard, and also a pair of gloves. Now, these are my old faithfuls. These are my RST leather gloves, which I bought when I first started motorbiking. In fact, I bought these before I bought the bike, and I've had them sort of 6-7 years now. They are wonderful, like a second skin to me. I've given them a coat of polish as well, but to be honest, they are not very waterproof at all. So I think on day one, I will probably have to revert to my Kais gloves. These are my heated gloves. I didn't really want to take them or wear them, and I won't be plugging them in, but they are very waterproof, so I might have to wear those as well. So I'll take 2 pairs of gloves just to be on the safe side. I should also point out that I'm obviously got plenty of luggage space, so I can have these luxuries like 2 sets of gloves. And at the end, I'll come back and I'll show you what I could get away with if I was going sort of absolute minimum with just a small rucksack or something. So let's carry on through. Boots as well, I'll obviously be wearing. These are my TCX, just normal motorbike boots. They, I prefer to wear the taller ones, like the ones you wear racing, you know, proper like bike boots, but they're really clumpy to walk around in. So I'm going to wear these because they are made for motorcycling. They're very waterproof and very comfortable. So just the job for a tour. So this is pretty straightforward. This is the bit you always think of, but actually it's the easiest bit. So I've got a pair of jeans. I've got a top, which is nice and warm. I've got 3 t-shirts, 3 sets of underwear, nice warm socks. That's about it, and a pair of trainers. So that bit's really easy and straightforward. And I'm not going to show you all my underwear, but it's all there in the pile. And then other bits that you can take, as I say, I've got the luxury of these panniers. So I'm going to take some stuff which may well just be useful. Some of it's essential. We'll start off with the essential then. Padlocks and locks in general. So I've got a disc lock, which is a screamer, and it's also been charged up. So this one I put on my front disc. It makes an awful noise if you try and move the bike or do anything with it. So that's good. And then I've got this monster lock as well, which is a sold secure job. And my mate is bringing a big chunky chain, which that will go round. Now, what I used to do was put that around my rear sprocket on my old bike. It doesn't fit around a rear sprocket on a speed triple. So hopefully, you know, that'll work with the chain. So that's the sort of essentials, really. I've got my phone for sat nav, and it comes with a quad lock case, so it just clips on my holder on the handlebars. But also, I've got this from Quad Lock as well, which is a plastic cover that goes over the top. Now, I don't know if you've ever ridden in the rain and tried to use your phone as a sat nav. When you get the raindrops falling on top of it, the phone, because it's open, because it's doing sat nav, thinks that you're touching the screen, and then all sorts of things come up. So if you put that on top of it, and it stops all these mad things happening with your sat nav whilst you're riding along. I've also got a bunch of charging cables, and I've got a means to charge it on the bike as well, which I'll come on to. Other things I've got here on the table, I've got a small multi-tool, which I've always found handy. I've got some padlocks put onto the bike, because these things, once you zip them up, you can stick a little padlock on. Not sure if I'm going to use those or not really, but I've got them, and I've got the keys on my 2 sets of keys that go with the other locks. Obviously, charging cables, I think I covered that. A bit of black tape, because you can't leave home without it. Webbing strap, just in case. Probably won't need that. Other things I've got, that's part of my charging kit. I've got a set of hex keys, always useful when something comes loose. Same again, Torx keys as well, so those are really good. Got some zip ties, because you always need zip ties. And then I've got some puncture repair stuff. Now, I've got a full puncture repair kit under the seat, but this thing's really good. In here, I've got this little device which will, once you put it on, will pump your tyres up. It's also a torch, and it also flashes like a police light as well, which is questionably legal, but you know, that's what it does. So I've got that thing, and got the old bacon strips or whatever they're called, and glue, and some screwdrivers and some plugs, and just things for fixing tyres. The only thing I couldn't fit in there are these 2 tools, so they'll have to go separately. Now, as I say, I've got most of that under my seat as well, but it's just a bit of a pain to get out when you've got all your bags on and stuff. So that's going to be really helpful. And then I've got this thing, which is a little wireless dongle, which on my old bike, I used to plug that into the OBD2 port, and then I could see what was going on with the bike, and if I needed to, I could reset an engine management light. Now, I'm not planning on getting one of those. I haven't had to use it in anger, but I know it works because I did something with my old bike and got an engine management light and managed to turn it off by connecting my phone to this. But on the new ones, it's one of these red connectors. So I've got this adapter, which should allow me to get into my engine management system if I need to and reset any lights. Hopefully, we won't need to use that. And the one thing I am likely to use is this. So that started off life as a vape juice, and then it was empty. I swilled it out with some WD-40, and now it's full of gear oil, nice thick gear oil, which, you know, if you've been riding in the rain all day, no matter how much lube you put on your chain, the next day there's always a bit of rust. So that's going to come in quite handy, I think. So a lot of that I'm hoping not to need, but I may do, we'll have to see. So I think that's probably about it. So the bike's prepped, I've got everything I can think of in terms of luggage. The only thing left really is to put a drop of polish on these boots, because they are looking really tired, and a bit of polish won't do any harm with the waterproofing. So I'm going to get on with that, but now I'll show you what you can do if you want to strip it down to an absolute minimum. Okay, let's talk minimum kit then. Let's pretend you haven't got the luxury of those panniers and all you've got is this tiny little rucksack. Well, that's easily done. Remember, I'm only going away for 3 days, 2 nights, so should be easy enough. Now, I'm obviously going to wear my jacket. I could wear a pair of jeans, riding jeans. I haven't brought them down actually, but I would, let's say I've got my riding jeans on, especially the ones with that new armour inside that goes quite flat. They're really comfortable. You could definitely wear those when you go out to the pub and the curry house at night as well. Also, once there's a drop of polish on these, I could get those worn as well, and I could wear those all day, and I could wear them in the evening with my jeans. I've got a top to keep me warm, and again, I could wear that on the bike and in the evening. So all of that's just like used quite a lot over the 3 days, and then all I need is 2 pairs of everything in terms of shirts, pants and socks. Obviously I need to take some padlocks. I've got 1 charger, I've got a lead to charge up my intercom, and I've got 1 lead which I would use to charge up the phone, but that's already on the bike. And of course the one thing I've forgotten to talk about in the last lot as well, it's a good job I'm doing this video, is a wash kit. You'll probably get away without it because you always get soap and shampoo at these hotels that you stay in. But it's always good to take a toothbrush, toothpaste and a razor, and that's pretty much it really, isn't it? Some deodorant would be probably welcomed as well amongst your friends. So really, don't forget the small wash kit, which I've got to put in the other pack. But as far as minimal kit goes, I could definitely get all of that in here. Right then guys, I am back from my 3-day trip around Wales, and it was fantastic, but we had all kinds of weather. We started off in the pouring rain. As you can see from the bike, it is now quite disgusting. So we had the pouring rain, and then we ended up in brilliant sunshine. So we've had a bit of everything, and I can say in terms of what I packed, I got it just right. I used up pretty much everything that I had in my luggage, with the exception of the tools that I took with me. So I didn't need a single tool. The bike was faultless. And I've got to say, of the 8 of us that went, actually, we all did really well, and nobody broke down. We had no punctures, nothing. So no incidents to do with needing tools. So that was great. But yeah, like I say, everything else was used. And don't underestimate how much kit you need if it's going to rain, because I'll tell you, that's the thing that got us. Like, I got through both sets of gloves because mine was soaking. Some guys didn't put their waterproofs on to start with, and that was a bit of a problem because they got a lot of their kit soaked. So, you know, it is tough when it rains, I'll say that, and it was much, much easier when we had a little bit of sunshine. So there we go, all done. The packing list was good. I did forget to mention a couple of things. One, as I may have said, was my wash kit. Other things that you might want to remember as well is also, if you're on any meds, obviously you've got to take your medication with you. I don't have any, which is why I didn't think of it, but yeah, you would need to take all of that. Also, some means of payment. So you need your wallet. I wouldn't rely just on a phone, because of course, if you've got your phone on your phone mount there, and it happens to fall off or it gets soaked or whatever else, you've got no way of paying for anything. So just always have a card in your back pocket. And I think that was about it. I'll be doing a video on the trip itself, but in terms of packing, we're all sorted. So, time to wash the bike. And for the rest of you, make sure you keep your chains oiled, and I'll see you all soon.